This activity goes with Lesson 23 in your Friendly Chemistry course. Now in Lesson 22, you will have introduced stoichiometry to your students. In Lesson 22, we utilized the ingredients to make a s'mores treat. We said that we had a known number of moles of each ingredient, which provided us with a known number of moles of product. And that was our balanced equation there. Let's rewrite that equation here first. So we can say we have 2 graham crackers mixed with 1 chocolate bar and 1 mole of marshmallow results in 1 mole of s'mores. And then we talked about how we can examine the different ratios between different ingredients and product. We said that the graham cracker to s'more ratio was a 2-to-1 ratio. In other words, it takes 2 graham crackers for every 1 s'more. Or a chocolate bar to s'more ratio was a 1-to-1 ratio. And then we adjusted our ingredients over here and predicted how many moles of s'mores we could make on our product side. In Lesson 23, your students will go one step further towards a practical use of stoichiometry. They'll be asked to predict, based upon a known number of moles of ingredients, the number of grams of product that they can produce from it. So a question might say something like, well, if I started with 5 moles of chocolate bars, how many grams of s'mores can I produce from those? Right? So, in addition to the ingredients for s'mores, you'll need some sort of scale. If it can read in grams, that's ideal. An ounce scale will work just fine. Okay, and then if you're going to plan to allow your students to cook s'mores again, you'll need a heat source. Candle, like we talked about in Lesson 22, works fine. Just take a fork and spear your marshmallow, toast it. And again, it's always fine to review the concepts of those chemical changes that were taking place in the marshmallow as you cook it. You also might refer clear back to Lesson 1, where they incinerated the marshmallow, and talk about how we produced carbon from that marshmallow. Okay? Let's take a look now at the activity we'll use to introduce this concept here in Lesson 23. So we have our balanced reaction right here. The 2 moles of graham crackers mixed with 1 mole of graham cracker and 1 marshmallow yields 1 mole of s'mores. Right? What we want to do now is we have to convert our result here in moles to grams. The problems that your students will have will say, well, I have so much mole of ingredient, how many grams of product can I make from it? So hopefully your students will say, well, if I know how many grams are in 1 mole of that product, then I can just multiply that amount, which is a formula weight, times the number of moles I produced, and therefore be able to predict the number of grams I have produced from the reaction. So let's do this first. Let's take a s'mores here. Here's a complete s'mores. I'm going to take all those ingredients and just put them in my scale, and the scale says that weighs approximately 10 grams, and you'll do a little more accurate measurement on your scale than I've done here. So we know the formula weight for 1 s'more is 10 grams. Okay, 1 s'more has a formula weight of 10 grams. So if we look at our basic balanced reaction here, we know that 2 graham crackers makes 1 s'more, which has a mass of 10 grams. I'll write that 10 grams right down here. That's the formula weight or molar mass of one s'more there. So if we were to double our graham crackers here, double our graham crackers, okay, so we're going to say we now have 4 graham crackers. Our ratio of graham cracker to s'more is a 2-to-1 ratio. Okay? If we put in 4 graham crackers, okay, if we put in 4, that means we're going to make 2 s'mores. Okay? Because for every 2 graham crackers, we can make a s'more. So if we put in 4 graham crackers, we should be able to make 2 s'mores. We know that 1 s'more has a formula weight of 10 grams. Each one has a weight of 10 grams. So if we make 2, your students should say, hey, well, 2 times 10, 2 of those, means that we can produce 20 grams of s'mores from those 4 graham crackers. And then you can take and do multiples of the other components of the reaction here. You might say, well, if we have 3 chocolate bars and enough of everything else, okay, 3 chocolate bars will theoretically make 3 s'mores because it's a 1-to-1 ratio here. For every chocolate bar you can make a s'more. Okay, so if you put in 3, you'll get out 3. We know that 1 mole of s'mores weighs 10 grams. Therefore, 3 times 10, we should be able to produce 30 grams of s'mores from it. Alright, so basically what we're doing is the same process you did in lesson 22. However, in the product that you make over here, your students will find a formula weight of it and then multiply that by the number of moles produced from the reaction. So this is the s'mores activity, which goes with lesson 23 in your friendly chemistry course, where your students will be predicting grams of product based upon moles of ingredient.